Hey, what's up guys? That one guy here. Let me just jump straight into things. Today we're going to be polishing off the last 6 wins of a grand challenge. Right now we are 6-0, of course using 2.9. So basically what we're going to be doing this whole video is going over my entire thought process over each and every game. Hopefully we can get some bad matchups. Hopefully, that way I can kind of just explain how to play around them, because anyone can see like how to play a deck against good matchups, but what people want to learn is the bad ones, because you're not going to get better playing against easy matchups. So what we're going to do is go ahead and jump right into the games. You guys already have the deck on screen, so I'm expecting queue time to be a bit long, so we're just going to like I said, just jump right into things, try and speed things up. Found a match. We're playing against Sergio from Artificiero Stop. Alright guys, so number one thing is you don't want to cycle archers at the beginning of a game unless you literally have no other choice. Archers are a 3 elixir commitment. If your opponent pumps up, you're basically just throwing away 3 elixir because they can straight up ignore those archers. Alright, so our opponent opts to play Spear Gobs and Dark Prince. It looks right now like he's got giant double... Ooh, actually no, that miner. Okay, so that miner makes me think he doesn't have giant double Prince. So let's just try and interpret what his deck is. Right now he's got Miner, Dark Prince, Poison, and Spear Goblins. So it looks kind of like a bait deck. It might be the Miner, Dark Prince, Goblin Hut deck with Spear Gobs and Minion Horde. So what we're going to do right here, we've already got his, it looks like 2 tanks out of cycle. Alright, so it looks like that's exactly what deck this is. We're going to go ahead and hold the Fireball right here just in case he has his Minion Horde. He does. And so again, just one of the top things is deck identification. We quickly determined that that was his deck, and so now he should play, yep, Dark Prince up top. We're going to catch that with the Tesla. Tesla is going to die. Ooh, actually, let's go ahead and catch this Dark Prince. That's a much more even trade now that he also zapped him. We're still going to get a ton of damage off. We're going to hold Ice Spirit just in case he tries to miner, but it looks like he's not going to go for it. So we're actually just going to log this, take a little bit more damage, and yeah, we're going to about reset on Elixir. And yeah, so number one thing is this is generally going to be a pretty bad matchup, because you can see they've already got multi-tank, they've got Poison, I think I've seen a Zap, and just Spear Gob. So if they also have Goblin Gang, then you're going to really be like, it's going to be tough to try and decide what you have to log, and it can just be difficult to get an Xbow through, and this matchup gets much more difficult in Double Elixir once they can keep cycling those tanks with a Poison. Alright, so he's going to go in hard in the left lane. We're going to pull all this in with an Ice Spirit, then just hold it back with an Ice Golem. Ice Spirit does not connect, unfortunately. It just kind of got held up there. Still, our archers are going to deal with that pretty well. We're going to go ahead, just ignore the rest of this. Spear Gob, I don't think the Op will spawn anymore. Alright, so let's go ahead, go in with the rest of this push. We're going to go ahead and log this back. I'm going to try and get through this Expo. Oh, yep, there it is. There's the Goblin Gang, just like we thought. Alright, so our opponent does have multi-tank and Poison, so what we're going to do, since we just got his Poison out of hand again, we're going to go offense immediately. He's probably going to Dark Prince and Spear Gobs, so we're going to go ahead. Ooh, actually, hold up. If we can, yeah, we actually just got the Dark Prince's shield to pop, and so now we're going to be able to clear that out. He does put a miner down, but we're going to go ahead and just kind of pre-log, see if we can get a Goblin Gang. Nope, we don't tank for a Goblin Gang. We do get the Ice Golem down in time. Let's see. Yeah, that does get enough damage. We're going to be able to finish it off with a Fireball and take the pretty easy win against a really rough matchup. Alright, so I don't really know how to edit yet. Well, actually, I do know how to edit. I taught myself how to edit, but the editing software, unfortunately, does not work with what I used to record. So until I can switch that up, it's going to just be like, there's not really going to be any cuts in between. So you're going to see everything happening live, which is why I'm also going to be like stuttering a lot and not really cutting it out. So here we've got Unstoppable from Clover Esports. This might be the exact same deck. Yep, it looks like it is the exact same deck, actually. Alright, we're going to get a little bit of a connection here. A bit more damage than he dealt. Unfortunately, we did not have the log immediately, so the Spear God, that one Spear God did do a good amount of damage on our Expo. He's got Miner and Minion Horde in hand, so we're going to go ahead. We're just going to split Skeletons in the back and play another Expo immediately while he doesn't have his Poison in hand. Alright, he opts to just go hard offense right here. We're going to go ahead and do archers to kill those gobs. We're going to go ahead clear out his miner. We know he has minion hordes, so we're not going to commit at 0 elixir. We're going to wait until we have a little bit more to support. Probably a Dark Prince at the bridge coming. Yep. Ooh, well played by him. We go ahead, log that back. He is probably going to Goblin Gang if he has the elixir. Actually, it looks like he's just going to miner on top of it. We're going to go ahead, tank the rest of this in an Ice Golem as far to the side as we can to preserve that health, just in case we had enough for an Xbow and timer wanted to commit. I don't think I'm going to because it'd just be a bad idea right now. If he knows I'm low in elixir, he could easily just minion horde it and I'd lose my entire Xbow without any choice about what to do against it. So once again, we're just going to play our Xbow up top. Ooh, that does go down a little bit late, unfortunately, but we're still going to get this connection. Dark Prince at the bridge, as expected. Probably a miner on top of the Xbow coming soon. Alright, we do distract him a bit. Well, not distract him, but we do catch him off guard there. Since we know he has minion horde and miner, we're going to go ahead and fireball that. We do have him in the spell cycle range, even if he does try to miner minion horde us. We've got a pretty solid push against it. It looks like he's going to think we're going to... Alright, actually, I was going to say it looks like he thinks we're going to Xbow. But, yeah, we just kind of just let him do that because we know we could easily defend it and just ignore the miner. Dark Prince, of course, to go opposite lane. Pretty bad Dark Prince, I must say. He threw it into the Tesla, which is just something you never want to do. Alright, Xbow is going to get a little bit more damage. It's only 2 fireballs away. We're not really going to go for another Xbow. It's just kind of a risky play, so we're going to go ahead and Tesla this lane once more. See if he defends that Ice Spirit. Nope, but that doesn't put it in log range, so it looks like he's given up. We're going to go ahead and take our fireball and take the win. Alright, so same matchup twice in a row. It's actually a little bit easier than I would have assumed. But I think if they held onto their mini tanks well, and just I feel like starting hand also matters a lot as to what they can do. If they don't have their poison in hand with their tank at the beginning, and you catch their miner, then you can get a lot of damage through early, which is what we just did. Alright, so now we've got Monkeys from AK Gaming. We're going to go ahead and play Ice Golem in the back here. Not a very good starting hand. Go ahead. I said you don't like the split archers, but since he ignored that Ice Golem, then that's kind of fine. Our archer on the right side might die to the guards, but as long as our left side does get something through, that'll be fine. We're going to let the guard lock onto our Ice Golem. Looks like this guy has regular golem, so... Ooh, golem-rocket, actually. Alright, yeah, this guy's got golem-rocket. Unfortunate that we kind of wasted our Tesla up there, but it was a pretty even trade considering that he played the baby drag anyways. If we would have played that Tesla preemptively and there wasn't a baby drag for it to kill afterwards, we'd be down a lot of elixir right now. I am down like 1 or 2. Yeah, it looks like I was down about 1.5 right there. I've got a bad hand right now just because of using that Tesla up high. And so he's already used his baby drag, which is important. We're going to go ahead and put our archers all the way back. Dark Prince is going to tank the... or Ice Golem is going to tank the Dark Prince hit. He's probably going to try and tornado everything together. Yep. Okay, those were very bad skeletons by me, but the baby drag kite was good. We don't really take any damage. We're actually going to split our damage evenly. And so now that we know he has golem-rocket, we're going to play our Xbow a lot more passively. We're probably going to go opposite lane as him. Alright, so of course he's got the rocket for this. Ooh, actually... So we get a ton of damage through there. Gotta say, there were definitely some mistakes by him right there. Alright, we also made our own mistakes, so we can't really talk. Rip. Okay, we might have thrown this game just with that one bad ice golem. All he needs to do is place a golem on this, which, yeah, is going to be really easy for him to do. We're going to have to just try and go full offense right here. Let's see if he Mega Minions up top. Alright, he does. Yeah, we're not going to be able to break through this, unfortunately. Yeah, there's just too much splash damage in this deck, and the Tornado and the bad starting hand really put us off to a bad start. Yeah, so he's just going to be able to rocket us out. Unfortunate, but with a better starting hand and just not such a bad rotation against that first golem, we definitely could have put on the pressure in the right lane that we needed to take his tower, and then he wouldn't have been able to rocket us because it never would have even reached overtime. See, that's just, I definitely feel like we played like 100 times better than he did, but we just kind of got thrown off by a bad starting hand, which led to a bad rotation. Again, just long queue time, searching for a matchup that's unfavorable for Xbow, because if you don't know, matchups are, not matchups, but matchmaking is mostly determined by win rate, so you're generally going to face people in your last 6 matches against people with similar win rates, generally within like 5% of your own. So yeah, it's trying to find someone with a great deck against Xbow. So yeah, that's why it takes such a long time, even though there's probably hundreds of people who are searching at 8 wins just now. I've never heard of this guy, but he's giving us some wows and some laughs, so he's probably heard of us. We're going to go ahead and play our cycle cards in the back. We're going to play an Ice Golem passively in the middle. Ice Spirit Goblin Gang. Looks like this might be Log Bait, which is a fairly good counter to Xbow. If it's Log Bait NATO, it's a pretty even matchup, but if it's Log Bait Tesla, he definitely has a matchup against us. Alright, so, geez, I'm not even... Oh, this is an interesting deck, actually. Definitely able to protect the Xbow there. We know he's back to his Goblin Gang, so we're going to go ahead and play everything up high. That's not really going to kill the archers. That's a pretty bad Goblin Gang by him. I feel like if I was him, I would have just tried to tank it. We weren't going to be able to get skeletons down in time, so we are going to lose the rest of the Xbow, but not before getting in like 1,000 damage. He pumps up at just 6 elixirs, so we're going to go ahead and fireball it. We were at like 4.5 when he played it, so we know we're down about 2. With Ghost, Bandit, Ice Golem, this kind of looks like 3 Musk. It looks like 3 Musk no Horde if I know this deck. So we're going to get ready to defensive Xbow if he does play his... Ooh, he opts to go with Ghost in the back. So what we're going to do is play Ice Spirit, and then Ice Golem up high, just to tank his Ice Spirit and his Ghost. Alright. Cleared Wave. Alright, so he just cycled back. That was his main choice. Bandit's going to go in. It's going to one-shot the archer. Looks like a mistake Ice Golem there. Looks like he tried to get it in front, but he just kind of missed it. We're going to go ahead and put this Tesla nice and high. He does, of course, have his... This guy's playing really aggressive, but not like... he's not playing like aggressive well. Alright, he's got 3 Musk in hand. Alright, that Ice Golem is going to put him down a little bit of elixir. Let's see if we can go ahead, get this down, and catch a 3 Musk right as it pops off. Alright, nothing locks on the tower successfully. Let's see if we can get a log on a Goblin Gang. Nope, unsuccessful, but he does manage to make that Expo retarget. Expo retargets once again, but we're just going to go ahead and get down a second Tesla. They're going to melt through that relatively quickly, and then once that Expo timer runs out, we can just get down another one ASAP. Ice Golem is going to get some damage on the tower. Tesla's going to one-shot that. Bandit is alright, but still, we're just still going to get the connection. He already used his zap, so we're going to go ahead and end the game right here. Really good matchup for us, considering he doesn't have 3 Musk with Minion Horde. Alright guys, gonna go ahead and search for the next game. Right now we're 9-1 after just unfortunate golem-rocket matchup. Gonna go ahead and get a really long queue time again. Looks like we're just gonna be waiting. I don't really have anything to talk about. I actually just realized I haven't had music playing this entire time. This is like a failed recording. So I'm going to go ahead and start that back right now. Alright, so he split bats in the back. We leaked a little bit of elixir, but we're going to go ahead and split archers to match it. We're down about 2 now. Generally, this matchup is going to be Giant Double Prince, so let's go ahead and see what he plays. Alright, Spirit Gobs in the back makes me even more convinced that it's Giant Double Prince. If he tries to punch that Ice Golem opposite lane, you know for sure. Okay, now it's like 98% Giant Double Prince. Alright, let's go ahead and put this Ice Spirit in the back. That way it doesn't jump onto the Stab God, but it does tank the Spear God. Alright, we're just going to be getting a little bit of chip damage in constantly while we wait for him to actually apply pressure. That was a bad Ice Golem. Giant at the bridge. Oh, Pekka. Okay. This is a little bit different. Looks like it's going to be the Pekka-balloon deck, unfortunately. Yeah, looks like it's actually going to be the Pekka Miner bait deck. Most of the time this deck has balloon. We're going to go ahead and find out for ourselves if it does. We did just get his main tank out of hand. He used bats and I believe zap. So let's go ahead, Ice Golem, and just pressure with Xbow immediately. Alright, so we do defend that with no hits. Ice Golem's going to kite the Pekka all the way back. So he just kind of helped us, to be completely honest. He did zap, so we're going to go ahead, Tesla up high. He might support this with bats. Ooh, good log by him, but yeah, we're going to go ahead. We're going to have that ready. Xbow does get through once again. That's going to do a lot more damage than if it were not to. So we're going to go ahead, get down another Tesla. The dual Teslas are actually just going to be lethal against this balloon. There's not going to be any chance of him breaking through. And now he's only one spell cycle away from us winning the game. Or we're only one spell cycle away from winning the game. Looks like he's going to try and rush with another balloon, possibly. Alright, looks like he doesn't go for it. So we're going to go ahead. Is he going to mine this again? Yeah, there's no chance of him getting through, but he wants to go in anyways. Let's go ahead, log Fireball this tower, and wrap up the game. We actually missed the loon, but it doesn't matter because the game's already over. Alright, so that puts us at 10-1. Still going pretty solid. Gonna go ahead, pop open our crown chest right now. Alright, we don't really get anything from it, except gold's pretty good, and we did get one more chest for our quest. Search for another game. We're playing against Ryoma. Ryoma, character from AOV, hint hint, from Black Souls. We have Skeletons, Ice Spirit to cycle. Generally, these are the 4 cards you do not want to cycle. I'm even fine cycling logs if I can figure out what my opponent's running early on. But yeah, Fireball, Archers, Tesla, and Xbow are the 4 you never want to cycle. Alright, so yeah, we were right about what deck it was. It's going to be a Giant Double Prince. He actually puts down his bats up in the center for some reason. Are we going to... Oh, we actually don't clear this out correctly. So we're going to go ahead have to log the Prince back, unfortunately. And one of our Archers still does die. He's probably going to ice... Yeah, ice Golem. I was going to say Orc Prince Gob Gang, which he did go for. Tower's going to switch back on to the dark, or to the Stab God. Going to take a little bit of chip damage here, but nothing too lethal. We can still push other lane, and he does have Giant in hand. But we're going to see how we can just adapt to his deck. Go ahead, split Archers again in the back. This is one of the matchups where you can split Archers. Unfortunately, we don't have any answer for Spear Gobs right there, because we have to save our log for the Goblin Gang. Unfortunately, Bat's going to go onto the tower, despite them being much closer than the Giant. We did get his Giant is out of cycle right now. We could potentially try and rush him, before it hits double elixir, but I think he might be able to get his princess down in time anyways. We're going to go ahead and try it out and hope for the best, but I've kept track of his cycle. He doesn't have giant back yet, but I think he's only that one card off of it. Alright, bats. Okay, bats do die. Alright, we're just gonna keep all our pressure in the right lane from now on. Alright, we might be able to force out a poison right here. Ooh, looks like he did not get that down in time. Archers are going to die to that, but Tesla's going to come down. We were going to be able to get down a second Tesla here. Ooh, I should have done Tesla up high. It would have been much more beneficial. We are going to be able to clear out this giant pretty quickly. We got a really solid offense down. He's going to have to poison this if he wants to avoid all damage possible. We're just going to let that Xbow just keep hammering away. Even if he tries to go opposite lane, we can easily just Tesla it back to the middle. He opts the Prince in the back. It's not really going to do a whole lot for him. We're even going to place Skeletons up here just to get that Tesla even more value. He's probably going to try and Bats left side right here. Yep, he goes for Bats, so we're going to do Archers to tank this. I was going to log it on defense, but I realized we're back to Fireball, so we're going to take the win against Giant Double Prince Bait. Definitely one of the most difficult matchups with Expo, even more one of the most difficult to draw. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead, we're going to take that, we're going to be 11-1. We're actually going to check out that guy's challenge cards. Only 67,001, 16 max wins, so not like a top tier player, but not exactly a bad player. Just kind of prove that we do need some balancing, because the fact that someone who loses to Expo with that matchup is at 11 wins is just saying that there is a problem with deck balancing in the game. So right now we're going in for the last game. Hopefully this is going to give us 12-1, and then we can see what our lovely chest gives us, and it's going to add one onto our clan quest. Yeah, so major things to take away from this video so far are just knowing when to commit, trying to figure out what your opponent's going to do before they do it, keeping exact track of your opponent's rotation. That was the most important thing for last game. Was knowing when he had Giant and not letting him get it down when he wanted to. If he was able to decide when he would play his Giant instead of me deciding it for him, then that matchup gets a lot harder because I can never outcycle him. Alright guys, we finally find the matchup against M. I am not even going to attempt to pronounce that, but he is in an Arabic clan. So again, we've got Expo, Log, Tesla, Ice Bear. We're going to go ahead and play Ice Bear in the back. Once we hit 9.5 elixir, we're going to play Tesla, or Skeletons in the back, then our Tesla. Bandit will dash on to the Skeletons, it looks like. Yep. It might dash, yeah, dashes onto the Tesla, so it looks like we're playing against Bridge Spam. Well, we're probably going to have to get ready to log back a little push right here. Yep, we're going to go ahead and log all this back just to make sure we kill the Battle Ram. That's really unfortunate. Yep, so we're going down a little bit of elixir right here, but that was the only thing we could do to defend it because of that unfortunate timing of the Bandit dashing and taking out most of our Tesla. Good play by him zapping it, that way the Tesla couldn't get any more value, but that's just what he had to do. Alright, so he plays Bandit in the back once again. We're going to go ahead, we're going to get ready with our Ice Spirit to bring it a bit in without dashing. Alright, that looks like it was getting ready to dash anyways. Yeah, that's unfortunate. It looked like it was getting ready to dash, which is why I committed so hard. Ice Golem is going to run in front. Ooh, Alright. So this matchup is mainly about stalling until double elixir. If you can stall the double elixir, that's when you can try and get your push down. Obviously, we've played great defense so far, except for that first mishap with the Tesla. But our archers do hit that left side tower and bring it down to 2099. We're leading on both towers. He hasn't touched either of ours yet. We're just gonna go ahead and log that tower. That's a bit unfortunate for him. Ouch. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and fireball that, just to make sure that it doesn't pose any threat for us in the future. Alright, he plays Inferno Drag in the back, which is really bad for us. We're gonna go ahead and set up another defensive Tesla. That's a little bit off of the placement I wanted to do. But we're gonna go ahead and get down this again. Hold our Ice Golem right here for the bandit we were expecting. Ooh, unfortunately, one of our, I'm losing track of my words trying to talk here. Alright, we get a pretty solid defense right here. We're going to try and push off of this defensive Tesla right here. Unfortunate dashing range does allow that to break through rather easily. Bandit's going to dash onto our tower. Should get a dash and 2 regular hits. Alright, we're going to go ahead and set up another defensive Tesla immediately. Like I said, this matchup is all about just stalling because they have roughly, I would say probably about like a 90 to 25 matchup. 90 to 25. They have like a 90-10 matchup on you. Alright, so we fail at tanking right there, but we are going to use these archers to support our right lane push. We're going to go ahead and get down a really high Tesla. We do catch him as soon as he plays an Inferno Drag in the back. He might commit to the left. Yep, he does commit to the left lane here. We're going to go ahead and fireball this, just try and get a little bit more damage in, see if we can get that Xbow another lock. He does play his Battle Ram in the middle. It's still good for us because we're getting a tank out of his hand. Alright, that doesn't dash onto the Tesla, so we get a full health Tesla supporting right here, which is great for us. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Alright, gonna get a little bit more chip damage here, just a little bit more time after time. Tesla's still standing there supporting. Alright, looks like he's gonna commit hard left lane. I'm going to commit to an Expo left lane. He can easily just fireball it. And where's the zap? Alright, so this is going to be a draw, unfortunately. Yeah, we definitely outplayed him in the end there, but he did manage to force a draw just because that 90-10 matchup allows him to keep spamming tanks and Fireball or Expo whenever we do commit hard to offense. We also only have Tesla as an answer to Inferno Drag, and our only answer to Battle Ram is Tesla. So yeah, that's just a really easy matchup for him, and I'd say you shouldn't even, if you're playing that matchup well as the bridge spam player, you should always win it. Not even draw. In 6 minutes, you easily have enough time to win it, just because you're always going to be getting a little bits of chip damage off because of bad troop mechanics, or just like a bad starting hand can lose an Expo player their tower off of your first push. We're playing against another player whose name I cannot nearly pronounce. Go ahead. We don't want to split archers in the back, especially not knowing what he has. Alright, bats in the back, so this is probably going to be giant double prints. Now, bats are going to be a bit wasted there. We're going to go ahead and use skeletons to kite this to the middle. Going to go ahead, commit to a Tesla just because we know that he has giant double prints, and there's like not much else we can do. He's still got Spear Gobs in hand, so we're going to wait out on those. Oh wait, this is not that deck. So we do get a pretty solid connection right there. We just went ahead and let the battle ram connect onto the Xbow because we weren't going to stop it from that. And it also allowed the Xbow, it also allowed the battle ram itself to pop, so we could easily just not have to deal with the health of it. Ooh, so... Alright, this looks like Giant 3 Musk instead of Giant Double Prince. Ouch. Yeah, that's going to be a really rough hit right there. There's not much we could really do to defend against that, especially when he just puts bats right on top of it. If we did manage to catch all the bats with the Ice Spirit, it might have gone differently. It would have gone differently. But yeah, that's just a case of a really bad hand in general. Sucks that we're just getting hard counter time after time, but I'm convinced that we can outplay this guy enough to still win it. We know he has 3 Musk in hand, but we did already force this Giant out, so we're going to go ahead and get ready to defensive Xbow. He opts to just rush with the Goblin Gang, so... Alright, Giant in the back. We're still going to go ahead and play our Xbow. Spear Gob shouldn't get a hit on tower. Main key to this matchup is fireballing early. So right here, this guy logs. So what we're going to do... Xbow actually locks stats, surprisingly. Bang. Alright, so he doesn't really get any type of connection there. Alright, we're going to go ahead and use this second Xbow to support. Okay, that was bad in general. Don't judge me for that one. Alright, he's actually playing this pretty well, but yeah, our starting hand's still setting us behind quite a bit. I think we can manage to slowly spell cycle him down if he keeps making misplays like the 3 Musk he just did. Oh, what I should have done is fireball both pumps together, because activating King Tower does not matter at all for me in this matchup. Ooh, he opts to go same lane with his Giant and his Battle Ram. He's just going to give us even more value on this, unfortunately, for him. We're just going to ignore most of this and go ahead, kite this back. Alright, so we're just going to ignore the entire Goblin Gang and try and push off of what we have. Alright, looks like it's going to work. We do get a huge connection right here. He's going to try and zap, but it's going to come down too late, it looks like. And we're just going to be able to fireball and wrap up this GC 12-1. I could find a way to edit out the draw, I'm sure, but I think it's much better to leave it in there. That way, people who are having that rough matchup with 2.9 can kind of see how to potentially win it, or if your opponent's good enough, then how to draw it. So we're going to go ahead and open this chest up. Hopefully we can get, I was going to say a lot of gold, but of course we're going to get a guaranteed amount of gold. There's 2 epics right there, 4 epics. There's most of our rares. That's 7 epics, that's all of our epics. We need more commons, that's all of our rares, all of our commons. We do get a legendary. I'm going to go ahead and guess Ice Wizard. Alright, we pull a Night Witch. I was guessing Ice Wizard for Ash. Night Witch is 2 out of 20 now. We do get a pretty solid amount of gold, of course, 22,000. And that just means that we are only 1 GC, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, we are only 1 GC away from maxing our miner. 100,000 gold, and we will have that max, and that'll be another deck that we can potentially use on ladder. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video right there. Please, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what I could do better down below, because I am relatively new to YouTube, and I know that not everything I'm doing is great. But yeah, just, like, you can criticize, but, like, no direct hate, please. Alright guys, once again, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the video right there. Peace out, guys. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your days. COG out.